What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns welcoming you to Q&A 19.0, your opportunity to ask me whatever question you want regarding the various games I play, like Grand Theft Auto Online, Mafia 3, which of course is coming in October, other games, gaming in general, personal advice, etc. And you have the ability to submit them via YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, email GeauxBurns@gmail.com. And we didn't get that many questions. Actually, I'm lying. We got a ton of questions. You guys went over the top today with the questions for Q&A 19.0. In fact, I had to scour through a few of the videos and Twitter, Facebook, just to make sure that hopefully I grabbed everybody's question. And if I accidentally missed your question, I do apologize. And there will be a future Q&A episode. The Q&A series will continue with Q&A 20.0, probably either in October or November. October is going to be kind of busy because obviously Mafia 3 is coming out and Skyrim Special Edition. So maybe October or maybe November we'll do Q&A 20.0. But the point is we're going to get to Q&A 19.0 right now. And last time, Q&A 18.0, we went alphabetically. So we're going to go backwards in Q&A 19.0 and start at the very end of the alphabet with Vishon. Q&A, if Leo comes back for Mafia 3, how old do you think he'll be because he was born in 1887? And props to Gomer Powell for answering Vishon's question. Yes, Leo would be 81 years old if he's still alive. Now, we know that in 1967, Leo's still alive because Vito and Leo are exchanging coded postcards from New Bordeaux to Empire Bay. Well, at least it seems to be one way, the postcards from Vito to Leo. So apparently in 1967, Leo is still alive. That could all change in 1968 or prior to Mafia 3. So I guess we'll find out when Mafia 3 comes out. And here's another thing I really do appreciate from my subscribers, my viewers, my fans. Anytime somebody has a question that's a pretty easy question to answer, don't hesitate to jump in and answer that question. Because, a lot of times people don't know. And, there's a question that's already been answered previously that most people already know about, or at least some people. And if you have that answer, feel free and chime in and, just be kind and be courteous to each other because, it's all about helping each other out. All right, so thanks for the question, Vishon, and thank you, Gomer, for stepping up. The next question comes from Ted. Ted, do you think Mafia 3 map will be 24 square miles? Okay, Ted, I know you've asked me this a few times. And honestly, I really don't know the exact size of the Mafia 3 map. Now, I'm hoping that it's going to be bigger than the Mafia 2 map of Empire Bay, but I don't know if it's going to be the same size as the map in Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 5 or like Witcher 3 or Skyrim, for example, or Fallout 4. I guess we'll find out and be able to do that comparison whenever Mafia 3 finally comes out in October. So I apologize for not having the answer. Sometimes I don't, but hopefully it'll be a really good size of the Mafia 3 map, including New Bordeaux, along with the Bayou, and it will be a lot of fun. So thanks for the question, Ted. Next, we go to Steel King Q&A 19, and this is something I'm going to start doing, guys. I'm going to start hashtagging, just to make it easier for me to find him. So in the future, for example, like for Q&A 20.0, it would be like hashtag Q and A-N-D spelled out A20, just so it's easier for me to find. Anyway, Steel King wants to know, do you know if they're going to be able to buy property, sell drugs, or even enter our own homes and garages during a free roaming for Mafia 3? And I believe we're going to have safe houses. I don't know if we're going to be able to purchase property similar to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. That'd be cool if we could, because I think we're going to be making a lot of money as Lincoln Clay, from some of the gameplay I've seen. With the dollar signs, there's a lot of money there. So maybe that money goes towards more than just weapons and vehicle customization. Maybe we'll be able to actually purchase safe houses as well throughout New Bordeaux. And obviously, I think we're going to be able to sell drugs because that's one of the rackets in Mafia 3 is, I believe, weed running for Cassandra. That's been confirmed. So I think that, the ability to do drugs and, gun running and all the other, we're very shady black market time ventures that are in Mafia 3 that we're going to take over as Lincoln Clay, along with Cassandra, Burke, and Vito, you'll be able to do. Thanks for the question, Still King. The next question comes from Sharif. What cars would you like to see and drive in Mafia 3? And what cars do you already like that we've already seen from the game? So I really think the cars that are featured in the Family Kickback pre-order are really sexy, especially the Stallion, aka the Mustang. I love that car. I just love Mustangs, but I love all those late 60s, 70s muscle cars. I think they're very, very sexy. And this image from one of the latest trailers, for the Rackets. You see this nice 5 cars here. Each one of those cars looks sexy as hell. So I'm very, very excited about all the cars that are going to be included in Mafia 3. And I believe, everyone at Mafia 3 has done their homework. They know exactly what kind of cars, we the fans are looking forward to seeing in Mafia 3. All the iconic cars from that era, the 60s, perhaps even into the early 70s. So I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised and pleased with the types of vehicles that we're going to be able to hopefully have and customize in our garages when Mafia 3 comes out. Next question comes from Royu. Hope I pronounced that correctly. I hope I pronounce all your names correctly. If I don't, it's not intentional. Q&A. Are alligators the only animals in Mafia 3? Okay, so far, that's the only animal that we know of that's been confirmed. They have said nothing about any other animal lurking in the bayou. I'm hoping that there'll be other animals, but as of right now, alligators are the only wildlife that we know of that's going to actually be something out there existing. Maybe we'll see some deer. That'd be kind of cool. Or some other animals as well. So, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out in Mafia 3 when we're roaming around the bayou. Who knows what surprises lurk down in the swamps. The next question comes from Romero's Hearse. Do you think Baldy is going to land on a hay bale and survive the fall? Okay, so I jokingly call Tony, one of the capos for Sal Marcano, Baldy, because he obviously has a bald head. And, here's your answer. An assassin, Baldy is not. The next question comes from Roman's Taxi. Now, I'm curious as to something. Is Roman's Taxi and Romero's Hearse one and the same? It seems very, very similar, guys. If it isn't, I'm sorry about that. But, Roman's Taxi was off of YouTube, and Romero's Hearse question was off Twitter. But I'll let it slide this time. Okay, but I get the feeling that you're one and the same. There looks to be a similarity between these two. Anyways, so Roman's Taxi had a Q&A 19 question, and he did the hashtag correctly, so props to you, Roman's Taxi. Which characters do you think are going to survive the events of Mafia 3? Okay, so we already know that at least Father James and Donovan are going to survive Mafia 3. So I think the issue is a lot of the characters' fate is really dependent on how you play the game as Lincoln Clay when it comes to divvying up the districts and the rackets. If you do even Steven like I'm planning to do in my Let's Play in October when Mafia 3 comes out, hopefully that means that all 3 of your lieutenants will survive, Vito and Burke along with Cassandra. But, that's entirely up to you, regarding who's going to survive there. Now, regarding the bad guys, I think some you're going to be able to have the option to bring to your side to work for you or kill them. But I think there's going to be some that you have no choice but to kill. We already know that you're going to kill Lou Marcano. We already know from the various trailers that Sal Marcano will be killed by Lincoln Clay. That's a spoiler, unfortunately, but we've already seen it in the Senate Intelligence meeting with Donovan that they grilled him. He said, did you conspire with Lincoln Clay to kill Sal Marcano? And he says, yes, he does. Now, we don't know the fates of Olivia Marcano or Sal Marcano's son, Georgie. That could be something that's entirely left up to you as to whether or not you allow Georgie or Olivia to live or die. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I think a lot of the characters in Mafia 3 aren't going to make it out alive. I'm just saying. Thanks for the question, Roman's Taxi. The next question comes from Real Money Greedy. Q&A 19 once again got the hashtag correctly. Thanks for that. Which game series is your favorite, GTA or Mafia? Now, this is a very, very tough question because I love both series. And I've been playing both since the very beginning. Now, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto since the original top-down version in 1997 on the original Sony. On weekends with my friends, when we do like sleepovers, we take turns wrecking havoc in the original Grand Theft Auto game. So I've been a fan of GTA since the very beginning. And the same thing goes for Mafia. When Mafia came out on PC in 2002, I had to get it. I mean, even though it was obviously an open world game, and at the time, Grand Theft Auto was still king. Months earlier, Grand Theft Auto 3 had come out. The very first 3D version of the Grand Theft Auto world, because before that, Grand Theft Auto and GTA 2 were both top-down. So, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 was very revolutionary. But so was Mafia, the City of Lost Heaven, and I really hope that one day that game will be available for people to play, because you can't really find it anywhere, which really sucks. I would love to be able to get it off Steam or maybe on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. That would be freaking awesome. But it was a great game because I love the era, the 1930s, the Prohibition era, Tommy guns, suits, fedoras, those old cars from that time. I mean, I love both series from the very beginning. And obviously, Grand Theft Auto is bigger and has like way more installments than Mafia. But to be honest, I hate to do this. I hate to be on the fence about it, but I love both Grand Theft Auto and Mafia equally. So without starting a war in the comment section, let me know below in the comment section which of these two series is your favorite. Grand Theft Auto, Mafia, both are another open world game. It doesn't have to be Grand Theft Auto or Mafia. It could be another game entirely. Let me know below in the comments section. Our next question comes from Ozzy NF. Can you customize your car in Mafia 3? And props to Nexus for answering this question, because it's one of those questions that's already been revealed and answered. Yes, the cars that you unlock as Lincoln Clay and have in your garage, you will be able to customize and upgrade. And added further to that, it was mentioned at PAX West in the panel that they're going to add even more free customization for vehicles post-launch of Mafia 3. So that's going to be really awesome. So you're most definitely, Ozzy, going to be able to customize your rides in Mafia 3. And thanks once again to Nexus for answering his question. Next question comes from Omega Laser Billy, who got the hashtag right as well. Do you think we'll get motorcycles in Mafia 3, and if so, will be DLC or something else like a patch? Okay, so unfortunately, I have yet to see any motorcycles in any of the trailers. And I know this is something several people have asked already, and to be honest, I think that if there were motorcycles, we would have already seen them appear in the trailers, going down the street of downtown or Delray or South Downs or some other district in town. So it looks like, I could be wrong about this, and I sincerely hope I am, Billy, is that I don't think we're going to have motorcycles in Mafia 3, which sucks because I think it would be really cool if you actually had some motorcycles from that era, the 60s and earlier than that, riding around in New Bordeaux. Plus, Lincoln would look like a total badass riding down the road on a big old hog. But maybe, just maybe, we'll be surprised by Hangar 13 and there may actually be some motorcycles in the game. The next question comes from Nathan off of Twitter. What district in Mafia 3 do you think you'll take over first, and which underboss will you assign that district to? So I believe that the very first district that we take over is probably going to be Delray Hollow, because that's the district that Lincoln Clay's from. That's the district where Sammy and Ellis and the Black Mob reside in, along with the Haitians. And it's also where a big point in the game transpires, where Sal Marcano comes in, betrays Sammy Robinson, murders him, Ellis, most of the Black Mob, and leaves Lincoln Clay for dead. And then puts the Dixie Mob in charge of Delray, which really screws things up. So I think the first order of business for Lincoln, once he gets back on his feet, is to retake Delray Hollow. And I think that it would probably be fitting to give Delray Hollow over to Cassandra. So that's probably my plan, if that's not going to be scripted. I don't know how it's going to transpire exactly, but that's probably what I'll be doing in my Let's Play. First things first, got to take back Delray Hollow, take down the Dixie Mob, and chances are hand it over to Cassandra, since she's also from Delray Hollow as well, along with the Haitians. And of course, the next question comes from Mr. Killzone19. Got the hashtag right, so shout out to you as well. Will there be a demo to play before the game comes out? Unfortunately, Mr. Killzone, I have heard nothing about a demo or a beta or an open beta or a closed beta or anything. And I realize some people have been able to actually play the game at various events, In fact, last week I was invited to go down to New Orleans during their presentation. It was very last minute, and I live about roughly 5 hours away from New Orleans. And at the time, I just couldn't go. There's just some real life type stuff happening that I just couldn't get away from. And I wish I could have made it, but it was, like I said, very last minute. And I know that all the YouTubers that went down there had the opportunity to play Mafia 3 and check it out for themselves. But as far as I know, I don't think there's going to be a demo, which is unfortunate because I do like the fact that, games still do demos, even though that's not as popular as it used to be. Or at the very least, like with Battlefield 1, they do an open beta, giving you a chance to not only help them test the game, or at least part of the game, like one of the maps, but to also get your hands on the game and try out a little piece of it before you decide whether or not you want to actually purchase the game. But I don't know, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, but to be honest, I seriously doubt we'll get a demo for Mafia 3. The next question comes from Matt. Do you have a favorite sports team? Hashtag Q&A 19. Okay, so I'm not really as into sports as I used to be. I mean, I used to be really hardcore into sports. But I do still like American football, college and pro. I would say that my favorite sports team, if I had to pick one, would probably be, ironically, the New Orleans Saints, because I'm from Louisiana. Both sides of my family are from Louisiana, even though I was born and raised in East Texas. I currently live in Louisiana, so I do consider both Louisiana and Texas to be my home. But I do have a special place in my heart for the Saints because when I was in radio, one of the stations I worked for, one of my first jobs in radio was actually running the board of the Saints game. You know how it broadcasts on several stations whenever you have like a professional sports team. And there's always somebody in the board to, in that studio of each station to make sure the game's actually on air, that the commercials are playing properly, that everything's running smoothly. And that was one of my very first jobs when I was in radio, was to run the Saints game back in, I believe, 2000. And they had a pretty good year in 2000, and a few years later, they kind of went downhill. But I became a Saints fan then, because I had to sit there from the very beginning, the pregame show, which was 1 hour, the full game, which is roughly 3 hours, then like the 1 or 2 hour post-game show. And that meant I had to get up like at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday when I had gotten off the air at about, I think, 5 or 6 in the morning because I was doing weekend overnights on the rock station. And I had to go home, get a few hours nap, then, pull myself out of bed just to get to the station in time to run the Saints game. So I became a Saints fan since 2000, and I was really excited when they won the Super Bowl a few years ago. Hopefully they'll have a decent season, even though the preseason for the Saints didn't go so well. Okay, so the next question comes from Lord Wolf Sanchez. What are your thoughts on the Battlefield beta? What are your thoughts on the Battlefield beta? Okay, so I mentioned Battlefield 1 a moment ago, and some of you may have noticed on the PlayStation 4 that I have been playing Battlefield 1, the open beta, for the past few nights, and I even did a video, Battlefield 1 Let's Play Fail. I just posted it like Friday night on a whim. I was in the mood, I was kind of drunk, and nothing else was going on, and I was having fun playing Battlefield 1, so I decided to post that just for shits and grins. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. I mean, I obviously suck at Battlefield because I'm a noob, and a lot of people are enjoying it. Some people don't really care for it. But I don't know if I'm going to end up buying Battlefield 1 when it comes out. I mean, my brother-in-laws are probably going to get it because they're huge Battlefield 1 fans. But to be honest, I probably won't because, like I said, Mafia 3 is coming out in October. I'm going to be focused on that. And Skyrim Special Edition, which I'm really excited for. So I don't know. I'm still back and forth on whether or not I'll get Battlefield 1. Now, historically, I have some issues with Battlefield 1. Like, in some scenes, the Zeppelin's too low. And from what I noticed from playing Battlefield 1 open beta, like, some of the weapons were very experimental and were in World War I. But most of the soldiers used, like, bolt-action weapons. And the Brits definitely weren't rolling around in German tanks and vice versa. So I kind of have some historical issues with Battlefield 1, but it still looks like it has potential to be a really good Battlefield game. The next question comes from Little Blood 500 Gang LB. What would happen if Leo found out that Vito helped take another family? Okay, so this is a very interesting question, Little Blood. So we know that Leo is still alive up to 1967. We know that Leo, sometime shortly around the end of Mafia 2, became the head of the commission. And I don't think Leo's going to be too happy if he's still alive in 1968 and if he's still head of the commission. to know that Vito is helping Lincoln Clay take down the Sal Marcano crime family. However, we have to bear this in mind. Sal does attempt to whack Vito, and if it wasn't for the fact that Lincoln saves Vito, Vito would be dead. He'd be pushing up daisies, or he would have been gator food. So I think from that point of view, if Sal went and had a hit done on Vito without getting a blessing from, say, the commissioner, a.k.a. Leo, because Vito is a made man, and you can't kill a made man without permission to do so. Even if you are a godfather of New Bordeaux, he would still probably have to ask Leo, to take Vito down. So there may be some issue there, but either way, if Leo's still alive and still playing a part in Mafia 3, yeah, there may be a little issue there with Vito turning on Sal Marcano. But from another point of view, I can see why Vito would do that because, hey, the guy tried to kill him. Okay, so the next question comes from Kevin Boston 7. How do I get good tags for my videos, and how do I get videos to show up at the top of YouTube search? Okay, so I'm honestly not a YouTube professional. I do my best, and I still got a lot to learn about YouTube, even though I've been making YouTube videos since I launched my little political channel back in 2009. And I posted a little video in response to your question, and it's from the Freedom Network, which is the network I'm partnered with. And one of the shows on that Freedom YouTube channel is a guy who is pretty good with tags, and he basically goes in and he talks about how you do a tag properly, the best way to help raise up the search for your YouTube channel. So hopefully you checked out that video, Kevin, and hopefully it was helpful. And to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out how to make my tags work properly. Apparently, it has something to do with the very first tag being the very, very most important. So, like, for example, over the weekend, whenever I did, like, Mafia 3 post-launch content, that was the first tag I put. Mafia 3 post-launch content, then Mafia 3 Roman numeral 3, then Mafia 3 regular number 3, etc. So anyways, I hope that information proves to be helpful for you, Kevin, and all you other aspiring YouTubers out there. The next question comes from Jetpack Jordan off PlayStation. Hi, I am Jordan Campbell. I messaged you on Facebook to ask a question for Q&A, but I am just messaging you on the PlayStation 4 just in case you didn't get it. My question is, do you think there will be a DLC where you can play as one of your lieutenants in the prequel story like Joe's Adventure? And, okay, so I'm going to say this right now. I really do not mind you guys messaging me on Xbox and PlayStation. That's perfectly cool. I even like adding you guys, even though it's kind of weird to do it on Xbox One. Like, on the PlayStation, like, whenever someone wants you to be your friend, you have to prove it. And, like, on Xbox One, you can add anybody you want. And it makes very confusing because Xbox 360 worked a lot differently than Xbox One does. But anyways, I really wish you guys would I'm not trying to be an ass or anything, but in the future, just like leave your Q&A questions like down in a YouTube comment section, Twitter, Facebook, email, because it was difficult for me to get this question off the PlayStation because I resorted to getting my phone out and taking a screenshot, taking a photo, and then I had to email it to myself. But anyways, it's a small issue. And another reason why I don't reply back as much on Xbox or PlayStation, because it's so damn hard to. It takes forever just to type out a response, and it's a lot easier to do it on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and email. Hopefully you guys understand. But anyways, to answer your question, over the weekend we did find out the DLC that is coming with Mafia 3, the free stuff, as well as the 3 expansions. And if that's it, if that's all that we're going to be getting, which is a lot of cool stuff, by the way, especially the expansions. They look very, very promising. I don't believe we're going to be getting a prequel story where we can play as, for example, Vito. A lot of people want like a Vito's Adventure prequel DLC. Now, maybe Hangar 13 will do it. Maybe they won't, but only time will tell concerning the potential for a Vito, Burke, or Cassandra DLC. And once again, I hope I didn't come across like a complete dick there. It's just that it's a lot more difficult to get the question off of PlayStation for some reason than it is to get it off all the other sites, because all I have to really do is do a screenshot for the YouTube comments, Twitter comments, etc. Okay, so the next question comes from Jack. Hey, GeauxBurns, is it okay if I draw you? And if so, would you prefer me to tweet or email you the pic? Jack, thank you so much for sending this to me. I really, really enjoyed this. This is really cool looking. And you know you made it as a YouTuber when you start getting fan art. And I encourage all of my subscribers, viewers, fans, members of the Go Nation that are into art, that love drawing, doodling, feel free and make some fan art of me or one of my Grand Theft Auto characters like Janine or GB in his wolf outfit or anything else you wish to make fan art wise. Feel free to send it my way. You can also do it with my GB logo if you want. So yeah, I most definitely love fan art, Jack, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to make this. And anytime you guys send me some fan art, I will definitely like it, and I'll definitely retweet it. And you never know, I might just post it in a video. So FYI. Okay, so thanks again, Jack, for the fan art. Keep it up. The next question comes from Iconic Mind. Are you going to do a walkthrough of Mafia 3 when it comes out? Yes, I am. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah, I'm doing that. I love Let's Playing. I absolutely love it. That's one of the things I really want to, gear my channel towards is doing a lot of Let's Play. I still like doing the news covering stuff that I do with all the Mafia stuff that comes out, but I also am really into Let's Playing. Just like with my Fallout 4 Nuka World Let's Play last week. So, yes, Iconic Mind, I am most definitely going to be doing walkthroughs of Mafia 3. I'm going to Let's Play it, and if there's any really cool stuff, like Easter eggs or anything else, I will definitely be doing videos on Mafia 3. So, the Mafia 3 videos will continue even when Mafia 3 comes out October 7th, because I'm going to do a ton of Mafia 3 Let's Playing from start to finish all the way through the end. Now, this is going to be interesting because this is going to be the very first time, well, not really, because I'll talk about that in a minute, but mostly whenever I do a full Let's Play, it's a DLC. But that's kind of changing as my channel continues to grow, thanks to you guys, by the way, the faithful viewers, subscribers, and fans who keep the GeauxBurns Nation growing strong. All right, so yes, Mafia 3 Let's Play is coming in October right here on my channel. The next question comes from Grandmaster. How would you feel about an epic 2D game for the next incarnation of the GTA series, like the original top-down Grand Theft Auto, which I discussed a moment ago? Possible side-scrolling sections, full-on sim gang, and stock management. I don't think we're ever going to see that, Grandmaster. I think the technology is gotten so advanced now, from top-down to 3D to HD now that, Rockstar is going to continue to up the game and continue going that direction. However, I will say this. Like with the original Mafia game, I really wish that Rockstar would come out with the top-down version of the first two Grand Theft Auto games, Grand Theft Auto and GTA 2, and put it out there for people to play, whether it's on Steam. I think it used to be on Steam, but they pulled it. Then again, maybe I just can't find shit on Steam. Or, post it, where, we can purchase it on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. Because part of me really wants to go back and play the first two Grand Theft Autos, GTA 2 as well, even though that's considered to be the least popular of the Grand Theft Auto series. Well, that or Chinatown Wars. I'm still trying to get through that on my iPhone. It's okay. But Chinatown Wars is kind of like a hybrid of the two. It's kind of like 3D meets the top-down, but it's a very cool game still. But anyways, hopefully eventually we will see the return of the, the top-down Grand Theft Auto games. At the very least, the ability for us to play them once again, the original Grand Theft Auto and GTA 2, either on PC and possibly on current-gen consoles. The next question comes from Giovanni. Are you going to play Mafia 2 before Mafia 3 comes out? Now, the reason why I paused a moment ago regarding it being my first ever is because I am intending on playing Mafia 2 Let's Play, start to finish, in just a few short weeks from now, leading up to the release of Mafia 3 in October. I've mentioned this once or twice, but yes, to answer your questions, because some of you are really, really excited about me doing a Mafia 2 Let's Play, it's coming this month. I'm just trying to pencil in when exactly I want to kick it off. Maybe in 2 or 3 weeks from now, maybe about near the very end of September, but I want to try and time it out to where I'm doing a daily episode of Mafia 2, start to finish, leading up to Thursday, October 6th. That's my plan anyways. But either way, before Mafia 3 comes out, we're going to do Mafia 2 Let's Play in its entirety, start to finish. The next question is coming from Crone. What is your favorite sandwich filling? Totally serious question. Okay, and that's one of the beauty things about the Q&A series. You guys can ask me whatever questions you want. It's about the video games I play, gaming in general, personal advice, etc. That's my rules when it comes to Q&A. Now, my favorite sandwich would probably be a turkey sandwich because I really do like turkey. Plus, it's a little bit healthier for you. My favorite sandwich would probably get from Subway, for example, a fast food restaurant here in the States. Kind of a healthier fast food restaurant is probably a foot-long turkey on wheat or honey oat with, let's see, tomatoes, spinach, let's see, pickles, and honey mustard. No cheese. I'm trying to cut down on the cheese because I'm trying to lose weight and eat healthier. So that's probably the sandwich I usually get. And what I'll do is I'll half-see it. I'll like eat half of it for like lunch and then the other half for dinner because I'm trying to portion my food. So that's probably my favorite sandwich overall is anything with turkey on it. So the next question comes from CJ Ware. What are some of your favorite movies? And if it must be game related, maybe your favorite crime movies. And he got the hashtag right as well. And like I said a moment ago, yeah, it doesn't have to be crime movies. It doesn't have to be anything related to any video games. It could just be simply one of my favorite movies. And DJ Shadow chimed in. And apparently his two favorite crime movies are Goodfellas and Casino, which are probably at the top of my list concerning crime type movies. Now, I would also throw in Godfather, Godfather 2, Scarface, Departed. Those are some really good crime films that I enjoy thoroughly. Now, let's talk about films that I like, because I love movies. I'm a big movie guy. Well, not recently, because most of the movies now suck, unfortunately, especially the fucking remakes. God, I wish they would stop making remakes. They're ruining my childhood, man. All right, so the original Ghostbusters, probably my favorite movie of all time. Star Wars, I love Star Wars. The original Nightmare on Elm Street, I love that. Lord of the Rings, I love all three Lord of the Rings movies. I wish the Hobbit films were better, but they're okay. I just feel like that one book should not have had to be turned into 3 movies. I mean, if you could take, Fellowship of the Ring, make it one movie. Two Towers, make it one movie. Return of the King, make it one movie. Those books are bigger than The Hobbit. So, in other words, The Hobbit should have been 1 or 2 movies tops. So, I kind of had issues with that. I like all sorts of movies, okay? I like Back to the Future. I've absolutely loved Back to the Future. Office Space, a cult classic that I love. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Even though I'm not really into musicals, I happen to be a huge South Park fan. And I could keep going on and on with the types of movies I like. I love Clint Eastwood movies. Let's see, what else? I love fucking movies, man. I'm all about the movies, and I'm trying to think of at least 1 or 2 more. Okay, one more. Okay, the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, those two are like side by side to me. I don't really have a favorite between the two. Dark Knight Rises, kind of a disappointment. Oh, and Deadpool was freaking funny as hell. Okay, so anyways, there's an idea of some of the movies and types of movies I like. So there you go. Okay, so the next question comes from Brandon. And if you don't mind me asking, what kind of capturing device do you use? Okay, so you're trying to get into the YouTube scene as well. And this is a question I get from a lot of you guys. Okay, so I technically use 2 captures. I use the built-in PlayStation 4 capture because it captures up to 50 minutes of video. But I also use my Elgato, and I've been using that since I launched the channel back in 2014 when I was doing Grand Theft Auto on the 360. I did it on the Xbox 360 and eventually moved up to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But since then, I've gotten at least 2 or 3 different Elgatos, and I absolutely love Elgato. I would recommend it for any aspiring YouTuber. It's expensive. It's roughly about $200. So if you want to be a YouTuber, you're going to have to invest in it. It's not cheap. But the best route to go, I guess, would probably be to do PlayStation 4 and go that way because the PlayStation 4 is owned by a lot of gamers already aspiring to be YouTubers, and there's already a built-in game capture, and you can simply get a USB drive and pull the video off and then go and get some video editing software and maybe some audio software, mix it together, and there you go. Hopefully that proved helpful. And just to be nice and kind to you, Brandon, I will answer your other question because this question you just asked is really something a lot of people ask me on a regular basis. All right, so your other question was, is it just me or does Lincoln Clay's scar on his head switch sides from trailer to trailer? Okay, so unfortunately that does happen, but it's not an error on the Hangar 13's part. the trailer I've noticed has some mirrored images. And you know what happens when you have mirrored images. You know, sometimes something that appears on the left side appears on the right side when it's been mirrored. The same thing's happening there. So no worries. Lincoln's scar is exactly where it's going to be. It's not going to magically switch sides like what the mole and what played by Fred Savage in one of the Austin Powers movies where his mole would constantly move around. It's not going to be like that, okay? So it's just the fact that they're, for some reason, using mirrored images. Like there was one where like Lincoln was about to bash somebody in the head, and on one side you have Lincoln Clay, the other side you had Burke looking down, and then in another trailer they were on the opposite sides. It was the same scene, but it was just mirrored. I don't know why they're doing that, but it is what it is. And our final question after 30-something minutes. This is the longest Q&A ever, but I hope I answered all your questions. Is from Alex. What are your thoughts on the current state of Grand Theft Auto Online and the future? I think that they're going to try and keep Grand Theft Auto Online afloat, perhaps similar to World of Warcraft. As long as they continue to put out updates, people will continue to play Grand Theft Auto Online. So at least going into 2017, I'm sure there's going to be more updates, possibly. But, you know, of all video games, eventually less and less people stop playing. And, you know, eventually Rockstar North may want to move on to another game. Now, obviously, Rockstar San Diego is probably working on Red Dead, the new Red Dead game, or Red Dead 3, or whatever it's going to be called. And so Rockstar North is focusing right now on Grand Theft Auto Online. As far as we know, they may be working on another project entirely. And I know there's rumor mills about possible expansion packs, but that's just rumors. That hasn't been confirmed. And most of you know how I feel about rumors and leaks and water cooler talk when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online. If it's not confirmed, I take it with a grain of pixel. But at the same time, I would be really excited if that turns out to be true, because I'd love to have expansion maps, even if we have to pay for it, for North Yankton, Liberty City, San Fierro, and of course Las Venturas. I think that would definitely add a lot of longevity to the game and keep it going very similar to World of Warcraft. All right, so that was all of your questions. At least I hope that was all your questions for Q&A 19.0. Hopefully I answered them all to the best of my abilities, and I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to submit a question via all the various social media sites, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, email, GeauxBurns@gmail.com, and Jetpack Jordan at PlayStation 4. I still love you, Jetpack Jordan, though. I still love you. I had to go the extra mile for you, though, so don't forget that. I had to pull up my phone and take a photo. But anyways, the next installment of Q&A will be probably sometime in October, maybe November, depending on how hectic and busy October is going to be. And so fear not, if you missed out on Q&A 19.0, Q&A 20.0 will be coming sooner or later.